Hi, here are the title, so let's talk. Now, I want to specifically talk about the Gladiators backline because it's something that I've had a very strong opinion about, especially on last season where I continuously hated Moth throughout the entire season. But we don't have to worry about that anymore. So, if you're unaware, basically, Glads have re-signed Shu, Skewed, and have now added Funny Astro, and Moth is obviously LFT. That's whatever. Very cool. I like this. I actually love this backline. Mostly because my main concern has always been flexibility. And that's where my mind goes to when I'm thinking, what is a good support line? And this covers a lot of bases because, as we saw in the past with Shu and Skewed, Shu and Skewed did a really good job of Bap Brig and Bap Zen because they were a really good combo for that. And then Skewed was kind of getting thrown into the deep end, playing a little bit of Mercy and even at sometimes Lucio, which I mean speaks a lot about how much they really think Moth could have done on the team. But you know, that's not here or there. But we're not going to talk about Moth too much. Let's just focus on Funny Astro. And I'm in awe looking at this roster, mostly just because I think Shu is very much more rounded out. And even if Shu's if I were just to pull something out of my ass and say that like maybe Shu stops performing well on Zen, you then have Skewed to give you a separate person who can maybe, you know, step up in a category if one or the other is lacking. And I think Skewed is in this really, really good place because if you remember back to the very beginning of the season of 2021, I talked about Deepe and the videos that Deepe was making about his team, and he said Skewed is a really hungry player. He's dedicated so hard that he is convinced that one day he is going to be the starter instead of Shu, which, I mean, although that didn't go exactly according to plan, it shows how much heart this kid has, which when I see that as a not even fan of the Glads because I'm not, but as a spectator looking at that, that's fucking cool to see on your team. Seeing someone who is so dedicated to not even just like winning like winning championships or doing anything. They just want to show off. They want to show how good they really are. And even though they were able to showcase that on their brig, which, you know, give or take, I we can go on and on about how good their brig actually is, which obviously got called into question when I reviewed it, but I don't think that should take away from that they're still a top brig, regardless of all of the problems that I saw personally. So I just see that Shu has all the flex supports covered. Skewed has Brig, Zen, and if you really want to stretch it, can play Mercy. And now this puts Funny Astro in a kind of weird position because this is again kind of the situation of Funny Astro can do a couple things here. Funny Astro can either take a step back when it comes to playing Brig, playing Mercy, which obviously this isn't going to be his immediate choice. This is just going to be something that kind of happens with their whole process of feeling out the team. So Funny Astro, in my opinion, can either immediately start grinding to try and be the like cemented main support that Glads might be wanting, or I mean, could just take a step back and just be a Lucio bot, pretty much, which I don't think he would mind either way, but I'm pretty sure his set position is supposed to be more for Lucio and then I guess more general main supporting if it's not a like designated, okay, like this is our bat brig map, we have to play Skewed. just because, I mean, if we're looking at comparatively between Skewed and Funny Astro, I'd rather have Skewed, who plays consistently decent, as opposed to Funny Astro, who had really good moments but is also very inconsistent at their gameplay. So for that reason, I think it's very good to, I guess, have them rotating, but who knows what they're going to do with that. As well as this also opens up the door of, is Funny Astro going to make Skewed work harder? Because if, and this is completely my mentality talking, in the sense of, if I'm on a roster and you're telling me I'm sharing a space with another main support, I don't want that person to have more time than me. I don't want to get all the shine necessarily, but I want to be seen as the better main support. Again, completely competitive mentality talking here, but I want to, I guess, open the idea to you that Skewed and Funny Astro could start making each other work even harder if they were to start pushing each other, in terms of maybe Funny Astro starts reviewing Skewed's gameplay and then tries to one up that and tries to then become that Brig player, which would then make Skewed be like, oh, so we think that Astro is gonna start playing Brig. That's my character, dickhead. And then start one-upping that. And the process keeps happening until you have two perfect players, which the odds of that happening are very slim, but that's my mentality. That's what I would love to see personally. But regardless, I don't want to stay on this too long. I love this roster. I think that in terms of next season, everything that's going to happen with this roster, especially just starting out with this support line and Kevster, it's going to be a good season, I'm pretty sure, for the Glads. Hopefully Funny Astro is still able to grind and perform the way that he was at one point or at his peak. But outside of that, if I'm a Glads fan, I am really happy about this support line personally. Because a lot of teams aren't gonna worry about this kind of like hero pool synergy. No one really cares about that, which really fucks over teams. But these guys did a really good job. And with that being said, I think that's all I got. So if you appreciate my commentary, I guess, on this topic, or want to hear me talk about more shit, don't be afraid to subscribe. I appreciate the fuck out of you for watching this video, and I will see you when I see you. Later.